The story takes place in Khamis Mushait, a city in the south of Saudi Arabia. There was a man named Jahala al-Bashir, a Sudanese national who entered Saudi Arabia illegally by sea in 1985. He looked for any job to survive and eventually found work as a shepherd for an elderly woman. He worked there for over a year, and over time the whole family grew to trust him. He even knew the woman's income and financial details. Eventually, he managed to get a copy of the house keys and began planning how to steal her money without raising suspicion. He told the family he needed to return to Sudan for family reasons. Since they trusted him, they gave him his remaining wages and even some extra money. But instead of leaving Saudi Arabia, he hid out in nearby villages for 2 months while planning his robbery. One night, he returned to the old woman's house with an axe, opened her safe, and started taking money. She woke up, turned on the lights, and he struck her with the axe and killed her. He stole the money and fled to the last village he worked in. The next morning, one of her sons visited and found the house locked. Curious, he went in and discovered the horrifying scene. His mother murdered in a pool of blood. The police launched an investigation but couldn't find the culprit, and eventually the case was filed as against an unknown. 12 years later, in 1997, Jahala al-Bashir returned to Saudi Arabia, broke and seeking a new victim. He entered the country the same way and went back to Khamis Mushait. He found another elderly woman to work for, but this time she was the grandmother of a wealthy merchant. Her grandson didn't trust him and kept checking in on her. Realizing he couldn't make a move, Jahala left and found a new job with a small family, father, mother, a 16-year-old son, and 3 daughters, in a village nearby. After 3 months, he argued with the father over how to care for the sheep. The father fired him. Jahala, enraged, left but soon returned with his axe, killed the father and then the mother. The children heard the screams. The son hid each of his sisters in different places, including one in a clay oven used for baking bread. After a few hours, the boy returned to find his parents dead and blood everywhere. He ran to the neighbors who called the police. Meanwhile, Jahala fled to the same village where he previously worked, but this time the police were on high alert. They followed his trail but lost it suddenly. It was like he vanished. No footprints, no tire marks, nothing. People began to say he was using black magic. Jahala watched the situation quietly for 2 days before attacking the elderly woman he had worked for previously. He killed her too, stole what he could, and escaped. Her neighbors found her body the next day and called the police. That's when they connected the dots. All the victims had one thing in common. Jahala al-Bashir had worked for them. Panic spread across the region. A merchant offered a reward of 100,000 riyals for information leading to Jahala. The case became a national sensation. Despite the efforts of Saudi law enforcement, known for their efficiency, they couldn't find him. About 15 days later, a man spotted someone hiding in a cemetery in the city of Ahad Rafidah, 5 kilometers from Khamis Mushait. He matched the description of the serial killer. The man reported it to the police, who immediately surrounded the area and arrested Jahala after a dramatic chase. He was fast and agile, like something supernatural. During the investigation, officers found it difficult to write down his statement. Pens kept falling from their hands. One officer suspected he had something on him, perhaps magic. Upon searching him, they found a scar under his skin and cut it open, revealing a magical talisman or charm sewn under his flesh. He admitted it was a spell to make him invisible or undetectable. After it was removed, he broke down and confessed to all his crimes, including the murder from 12 years ago. He was sentenced to execution and crucifixion. In 1997, the sentence was carried out publicly in the market square of Khamis Mushait, the same area where he committed his crimes. He was beheaded and crucified on a metal pole until 8 p.m. The case of the Khamis Mushait butcher became one of the most talked about crimes in Saudi Arabia.